Okay. So I'm finally looking at your account. You want to give me a rundown of basically what you want to talk about? I can
What the
see
heck
like
has happened?
yeah. I mean,
Um,
go ahead.
so I was telling Lisa yesterday, and I think I kind of worried her, but I was like, I'm not going anywhere. I want to figure out what is going on. But
Yeah.
yesterday, my volume split in half a long time ago. And I was like, I get it. Moving out of 2015, 16, I lost a ton of leaders. But yesterday I had my lowest paycheck, I think, since 2011. I mean, my primary was $300. And I was like, I can't survive like that.
You mean your
I
first
am not,
PC?
yes.
Oh my God.
And so I think total between primary, second, and my husband's account, I think I only made like $500. Um, so I know, uh, so what I have been doing is I was really trying to add over onto my second CBC just because it moves up into Kevin's account. And then I've been trying so freaking hard to get back to 2 star in order to get the bonuses.
Yeah.
And so I know that I have not added as many people over on my weak leg in order to start really kind of capitalizing on volume. I just, I'm really struggling with, and I'm sure it's a lot of it my confidence as well,
Yeah.
but it's like I'm really struggling with getting people to actually do something and to actually do what I'm asking them to do. And so in turn, as soon as I'm recruiting, they're just kind of staying still and
Okay.
I can't get movement.
Yeah. Okay. Well, a couple things. One is I'm in a mastermind with Sarah Robbins, and this book, they were all talking about this book, okay? And ironically, I hadn't read this book, and it's called Renewal for Field Leaders. And what we're experiencing, and a lot of other network marketing companies are going through the exact thing we are right now, but nobody talks about it. And so it's like
Yeah.
really frustrating because you feel like you suck. And granted, we all have to make changes and pivots and things like that, but also like truly understanding what the hell is going on. So they talk about like one, two, three, four, five. They talk about the 5 stages of any network marketing or direct selling company. And he actually gives examples of other companies like New Skin, Usana, Sensi, and it looks like this. So it starts with the launch of the business, okay? And launch
Mhm.
is going up, and then hyper growth. And so hyper growth for me, right, was my 2010,
That was fun.
2011. And the hyper growth is when they talk about is like, you're blitzing and it's so fast and it's so fun and you're just like barely can keep up with what is happening. Well, and then growth by promotion would be like a launch that the company has that we're capitalizing on. Okay. Um, but then it goes into what they call a shakeout. And the shakeout is definitely what's happening right now. And so they're showing that during a shakeout, sales drop, volume drops, income drops, leaders drop, like every company goes through this. But then it's what happens during that time is your company going to go through a decline or a renewal. And so it talks about being a field leader. not being on corporate, but actually being where we're at. What do you need to do on your end to turn that into a renewal? And then he actually shows examples of other companies of what that kind of looks like, where some of them surpassed their original sales and some of them didn't, but they got out of that dipping point.
Okay.
So what's ironic though is that they were all talking about this book and raving about it and all these ideas and everything. And I go and I look it up and I look at the name and I'm like, okay, that's weird. Yeah, the author is Brett Blake. Who
Yes,
right.
I remember
And
him.
I was like, like, how is nobody talking about this in Beachbody? So
Yeah.
he talks about Beachbody in here a lot. And he talks about like how we had hyper growth during the time he worked there and they launched the challenges and all the things. But he also talks about like the lead generation program and how people were making tons of money on the lead generation program. And the minute that they cut that, the sales and the volume dropped. And people didn't realize, and I think that's true. We didn't realize how much was coming from those infomercial leads and things like that. You would log in all the time and have free customers and sometimes
Right.
coaches and, you know, so anyways, it's very interesting. I'm not even all the way through it because I get sidetracked, but the bottom line, like I would check it out, but the bottom line is that first of all, what we're going through is normal in any company, like and being in this mastermind, they're all going through it in their companies.
Okay.
A lot of them got really hurt after COVID. And so it's literally like everybody like as a team, as a group, we're figuring out what do we need to do to survive this and how do
Right.
we turn it around, right? And so it's really just like going back to I don't want to say the basics, but that's what the whole book is about. Number one is that it's normal. Number two is that how do you turn it around? And he talks about the what most of these companies do is just like rally all around one product. The number one reason people aren't selling and taking action is chaos. It's complete chaos and confusion. They don't know what to do, right? And we are famous for that over here. Versus getting a lot of people to do a little, simplifying the sales message, simplifying the product, right? And I'm running a diamond group right now, and I'm telling them, like, really teaching all of them, it's like I built my whole business on Shakeology. Like, you
Mhm.
think about it, you get Shakeology is your continuity product. People take it, drink it, love it, start seeing results. Immediately, they know how they feel when they don't drink it, right? But from a business standpoint, it pays you every month. It's
Right.
$30 every single month. I was talking to um one leader and we were talking about like if you have 10 Shakeology customers, and it's not hard to get Shakeology customers, that's $300 a month, right? And but the I feel like we're missing the boat in so many places. But the thing is like she said to me, one, her people cancel on Shakeology because they don't know really how awesome it is. And then two, the people that are on Shakeology that love it, she felt like she needed to give them a discount. So she signed them all up as PCs. So she basically like, and so that's happening too. The PCs tanked our volume,
Yeah.
right? And I don't know. Let me look at your business again. Hey, Lisa. Um, you I mean, you do have quite a few PCs. And the question is how many PCs do your coaches have? That's what you really want to look at. And so I feel like I need to make a video on this, but how I explained it to this newer diamond, her whole like 75% of her business was PCs. And she thought she was doing everybody a favor, right? Because she's like, well, then they're not going to cancel their Shakeology because now they're going to get a discount. And I was like, okay, let me explain to you how this business works. When people sign up, like most people, like some of us sign up, me, Lisa, maybe you, like we signed up to build a business and to make money, but we know that's just not the norm, right? And so I use my coach Jill as an example, Jill Flores. Jill signed up to get the discount on Shakeology, and I knew she would be great. And I was like, you should do this. And she's like, I don't have any time and I'm terrible. I don't want to sell. And I'm like, okay, fine. So she was an instructor too, but she's a pearl. So she was intimidated definitely by the process. So, anyways, I had her in my groups. She was being exposed. And but I did a getting started right call with her and kind of, got her in the process and whatnot. But after that, I really didn't like work with her. And so one day I was logging into my office and looking at everything, and she had 6 personally sponsored coaches. This was obviously a long time ago, and they were all active. And I was like, I messaged her and I was like, okay, what are you doing? I go, do you realize you're a heartbeat away from diamond? And she's like, no, what's diamond? And I was like, how are you signing these people up? You're not even working the business. And she's like, well, my husband and I lost X amount of weight on Shakeology. We love it. So we're signing everybody up, and I'm signing them up the same way I signed up for the discount. And so I was like, okay, so I go, can we get on a call? Let's talk about like the fact that you're really close to diamond and, if you want to go for that. So long story short, we got on a strategy call like this, and I explained it to her and showed her the potential. And I was like, I ended up doing a party at her house for her and her husband. I mean, she went diamond like that. One of those people that just has like a huge network. Her and her husband, they're like friends with everybody. But would she have invited all those people without me? I'm not sure, right? But here was my point to the other coach. I was telling her this story. So if Jill would have signed up as a PC, that never would have happened. Jill would not be here to this day. Jill was able to leave her paralegal job, and now she is just coaching, and then she still teaches classes because she loves it. So it's changed their life. What happens with the PC is, one, they can't earn and they never get exposed. So people sign up for the discount, and then they go to, let's say they're in our Facebook groups, they're in our coach groups, they see the recognition post, they see the team call, they see there's a super Saturday or coach camp or a meeting or summit, and they start going to these events with no intention of building the business, right? But how this business works is, don't forget, is when people hit their emotional rock bottom, that's when they go, oh, wait a minute, right? So that's what happens. As something happens, their husband loses their job, right? They go through a divorce, whatever. And they're like, okay, I see my coach, or I see all these other people, right, seeing success because they're being exposed, right? And then they go, maybe I should try this. Maybe I should do something with this. That's how the discount coach worked. And so we logistically know that, but the PCs don't get added to the coach groups. They don't get on the team calls. They don't see the recognition posts. They don't maybe go to the events. They don't, that never happens. And so what happens, it goes from PC to cancel. You're always upgrading people. And so the PC never gets upgraded. In fact, most of them cancel, and they don't produce volume. I mean, they produce their 90 PV or whatever, But what the other thing that was happening with discount coaches is that they were selling, like, without trying to or intending to, they would randomly sell stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like their mom wanted to buy hip hop abs and they would sell it to them, or, and so what would happen is they would make, $30 here and there. It was enough for them to be like, well, I'm not going to cancel because, I'm making enough to at least pay for what I've got. And then they upgrade. Okay. So the PCs are killing us. And they're not only are the coaches not getting the commission for the customers, but if you sign them up as a coach, which we would normally look at, that is even better because you got a spot in your organization and now you'll team cycle on their volume. Well, you're team cycling on volume that, 10 years ago, my volume, I went through it. And if you do the same thing from yours, it's very eye-opening. So just go to some of your biggest volume weeks, open up your left volume, your right volume, and look who's producing all that volume. And so the biggest thing that I noticed was almost everybody, when that volume was sky high, everybody was producing a minimum of 200 volume, some 400, some 1,000, in a cycle. Now it's 90 or less. Okay. It's like 90 or bust. And a lot of it's 0, 0, 0, 0, 15, like 15 must be for like the BOD. So before, everybody was selling multiple things. That was the big difference. Even if they were a discount coach, they were randomly selling other products or even the individual DVDs or whatever, where now that's one of the big things that's really hurt us. So the talk I had with her was, you need to sign people up as a customer or as a partner, and that's it. Get rid of PC, don't offer it. And that's it. And really teaching them how to do that. And so with partner, what I've been teaching that group is that you sign people up first for the discount, sell them on that 25% off, then sell them on, if they refer 3, they earn their product free. So they bring in 3 customers. So again, there you go. One person who doesn't want to work the business, but they're still bringing in 3 customers. What's happening to that volume, right? And then for those that want to make extra income, right, it's 25, 40% commission. And then you share your story. So by you sharing your story, they know there's a bigger financial opportunity. But we don't need to be signing nobody up for just the discount or just the discount, right? Like, we're hurting ourselves. Let those people just sign up as customers. And then really, so the other thing she said was that people cancel Shakeology. Well, personally, I feel like that's because we sell it in the bundle. So I don't mean to go off in 5 directions, but that's what I was trying to teach them is like, if you have 10 Shakeology customers a month, that's $300 a month you're going to make every month. When you're selling body, you're getting an annual.
That's true.
There's no comparison. There's no comparison. The Shakeology should be the front runner. It's your flagship product. It's what we should be leading with. It's what we should be educating our team, number one, about how to make it, how to mix it, how to talk about it, how to sell it, how to share it. Like, that's the number one. And it's the easiest thing to do. And it's a wider net of people. And then the people that want the workouts, you can mention the workouts and you can share your story. And the people that want the workouts are going to raise their hand and they'll say they want the workouts. We right? Like when we promote boot camps and challenge groups, okay, that's fine, but that's just one way. That's one event. And Beachbody has taken one event and turned it into our whole business. And quite frankly, I feel that is the biggest problem because
Well, and
people,
I think that's what I've done. I've done that. Like, I don't talk, I drink Shakeology every single day, but I never talk about it anymore. I only talk about the workouts.
yeah. And you're only getting paid annual. Think about it. Like you're only getting paid annual for that. And you're over serving them every single month with groups, right?
Mhm. Okay. So then my next question is, so I've never offered preferred customer. Now, all of my preferred customers now are older coaches who stopped selling. So would you, or have you gone back to them and gone, hey, I was just checking in on you. I noticed, now you don't earn a commission. Would you be open to it? Or would you just let that group go?
What I told the group that I'm running right now is I told them, or this was a different Lisa that I was where she has 75% of her team is PCs. And by the way, she's not making any money. Well, that's why. Well, that's one reason why. Okay. But honestly, she didn't know that. Do you see what I mean? I get so frustrated with this because I feel like this is like massively going on in the network in multiple ways and reasons. What I told her is that she could absolutely reach out to them, but I would do it from the aspect of to get your product free,
Okay.
right? Because I mean, like I hear what you're saying, and I would love for everybody to want to build the business and want to make money, but not everybody does. So it's going to be an easy way for them to say no. But who doesn't want to earn their product free by referring 3 people? And
Okay.
so I think that you have to have a way for people to do that. So one of the things we've been doing in this Diamond Breakthrough group, kind of testing out, one of the things that Sarah's huge on is asking for referrals, which is also something that we don't do. I mean, not to say you don't here and there go like, hey, do you have anyone that might want to be that would be interested in joining the group with you? I mean, we don't teach it down as literally a system to a way to get customers. So what she does is she asks people to host events for her. I'm going to go off on another tangent, but I feel like it's important because you know how, because here's what our business is all about. It's about getting people to look at your product, right? And it's about getting new people started. That's really what we're doing. And we're going to get to that. And please don't let me forget because I go off my brain with all the brain fog. I get mixed up. Um, you're always building your business, but you have to get really good at helping your brand new people build their businesses. That's ultimately what you're always doing. So that's one of the things I've been teaching them is that that's really what I'm still doing 15 years later is I'm helping new people launch their business and I'm helping new people get referrals and I'm helping new people hit Emerald and helping new people hit Success Club and then helping those people go Diamond and you kind of start over and you do it again. But that's a skill set in itself. So one of the things that Sarah does is she asks people to support them by if they would be interested in hosting an event for her. So when you think about like the Zaya and you know how they run all those Facebook, well, they used to run all those like workout legging Facebook parties. Allison and I were brainstorming on that because what we were aiming to do was to get in front of a whole new network. So, maybe their sister isn't interested at all, but she does have a big group of girlfriends and she'd be willing to host a party for you. an event for her, for example. And that big group of girlfriends is someone you would never get in front of anyways. So why not host an event? And so we experimented with, we did like a virtual shake party. We've done a couple of them now, but from the angle of referrals. So the reason I'm sharing this is because when you're talking to your PCs and you're saying, hey, if you're interested in earning your products free and, bringing 3 customers on, I think you have to have a way for them to do that. Whether you are giving them an invitation to invite those people to your next boot camp, or you are asking her, I would love to help you get those 3 customers. Are you interested in hosting a shake party either in your kitchen or on Zoom? You bring 10 people to the party, I'll do the rest. And all you have to do is share your love for Shakeology, and I will introduce and share the products for you. And so we've been doing this, and we're getting in front of so many more people, which that's the bottom line. The bottom line is, I don't want to just take this person through a boot camp. I want to go through this person to their Verizon network. And I want to get them to try Shakeology and the bars and Energize, and let them know we have workouts and I have a business opportunity. And whether, right, they're interested, they sign up, they don't, you're going to find a few that will, and maybe someone from there wants to host another event for you, and you keep it going. Whereas like how we have our invitations set up is we go through that person, and if they're not interested in joining a boot camp, it stops there. And then we always feel like we have to go invite 50 more people, when that's called burnout is going to happen sooner or later. And if you're making the money, you might be willing to do that, to go and invite 50 people a day. But when you're not, and you're not having the social media skill sets to be able to convert those people, I feel like that's a big reason why people quit. They might not quit, but they quit mentally.
Right. Okay.
Right? It's a whole other skill set to work the business on social media. The easiest way to build this business is to put the products out, invite people over, invite them to come and taste and try them for free. You share your story, you invite people to get started. Some will, some won't. Next. And that's something that's so simple. And every new partner has the network to do that. Every new person has it. And they are willing to do that because it makes sense to them. They're like, yeah, okay, like I can invite people to come and try these and try the shakes first before, purchasing it. Does that make sense?
Yes. So I do have a question on the virtual Shakeology parties. Do you send them a sample, or do you just talk about the product?
So we've just done a couple so far, and we did send samples. So we kind of put together like a whole format for them. And the big thing was like, I'm working with Allison Thornton to go 5-star. Well, for Allison to go 5-star, she's got to build leaders under her. And so I'm having her do these events with her people. Like that's the piece that you can't omit. So what we did is we created like a Google form and then a deadline. And then we tell them 10 people in your kitchen or 10 people on a Zoom room. Can you get 10 people there? Get that commitment from them first. And then they might have to invite 30 to 40 to get 10, right? But if you have 10 there, you're going to have a successful party, bottom line. Like I built every single diamond on my team, except maybe one, I built through shake parties. I built every emerald on a shake party, and then help them go diamond, because here I am in another tangent. But the other part of those parties is I meet their leaders. The leaders are always in their top 10. So I'm always able to meet those key people then that I can like work with them to, help them get signed up. When they're too new, they don't identify those people like I would identify them, right? So we did send out one sample. They sent out a shake. We created like a party pack. And so they could print the brochures, or they could send the brochures and the shake, or shake and an energize, really whatever you want. And then in the party, they made the shake together. So they sent them with recipes, and then they told them, we're going to make this on the actual live. And just like any other event, the biggest thing is getting those people there. And so like, it's really have to pre-qualify people, which is what I always did. I never offered to do a party for someone that I didn't already know. I didn't already have their list on paper. So I knew they had the network, right? And so now, are they willing to do the work? And so I think you have to pre-qualify people. You can't just, otherwise they'll invite 2 people and you'll be like, okay. But if you can build that list and you can get those people there, then again, it's the best use of your time, because you just got in front of 10 people for your person. And the only way you have control over your business is to get in front of their prospects. Because then when you go to bed that night, there's only one person that you can be like, okay, I didn't sign him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's on me. Like, I'd rather put it on me as the leader, because that's the only way you actually have control over your business. I don't remember who I was talking to, but we were talking about like, they had that mindset that they don't have control over their business, like financially or with other people. In other words, they had the mindset of, well, I can't make her sign people up, or I can't make her go diamond, or make her want to go diamond, or whatever the case may be. But it's like, no, really, you do have control over your business, but it's a matter of you taking responsibility that you do have control, and know that, like I said, when I started, there's 2 skill sets. There's the skill set that you already have, which is how to recruit and retail for yourself. You know how to do that. You know how to sign people up, and you know how to get customers and hit Success Club and hit Elite, and you know how to do that. But it's a whole other skill set to recruit for your team. When you know how to recruit for your team, and then build emeralds, build diamonds, build, multi-stars, then you're unstoppable. But Beachbody will never teach you this, because they don't want you doing this, because they want you over here just selling. But where we're at is like, until we build that multi-generational 6-figure earners, then you're always spinning. You're in an achiever spot right now, wherever all of your income is coming from your personal achievements. To shift that to your teams, you have to get in there and find the people who want to upgrade to those next levels, do strategy calls with them, ask the questions, figure out the hard things. We can talk about that if you want. And then creating action plans of events where you can meet their people. Like, it's that simple. And so that's always my goal, is what type of event can I create where I can meet their people? I want to meet their top 10, because I want to help. I want to be the one to share the vision, share the story, and help them get started. And I know in the process, I'm going to help that person go emerald, hit Success Club, maybe find one leader, right? And then they're going to go, 2 things are going to happen. They're going to go, this works. And they're going to go, Jacqueline knows what the hell she's doing. And I trust her. And now I'm going to do whatever she tells me to do. That's how you build loyalty with your people, letting them lead you. You have to earn that. And I don't mean you specifically, but I have to earn it. Every time I sign someone up, I have to show them that I can help them win. And
Okay.
the only way I can do that is we do it together, and we do it in a way where it's so like to them, it's literally like, that sounds so easy. Yeah, I can do that. I can invite people to my kitchen. We can taste and try the products. And then, I will help run the party. They'll have a role, right? But I'll be the one. And so we'll sit down and go, okay, let's talk about, who do you want to get involved in your business? I'll ask a series of questions. We'll build that list. And from that list is where I usually decide, is this someone that I'm going to offer to do an event with? Because I can't do it for everybody,
Okay.
especially like people that are half in. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I definitely think that, and then training on the total solution pack compared to Shakeology probably are like two key things that I have not done. So I think both of those are really awesome that I'm going to implement.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. Yeah. I used to, when I first used to sign coaches up, one of the very first things I used to send them was that YouTube video with Shay. It's like how to market and share Shakeology. It's really old, but it's
Yeah.
amazing. And she talks about really breaking it down, the $4, why people need it, getting on the phone with people. That's something I used to send to my brand new coaches as a part of like their getting started system. And what I was trying to do there, and it worked, is educate them, like really empower them to not only drink the shake every day and get the results, but to build confidence in them to share the shake. And so I absolutely feel like that is needed in all that we do. Um, and so most recently in this group, as we're doing this all organically and figuring it out, that's one of the big things that I was telling them is that that's your flagship product. That's where you can start everybody. That's your widest net. And so when we build the top 10 list, when I'm doing a getting started right call, I specifically ask, okay, let's talk about who are the people you want to get involved in your business. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to tell me immediately the first names that come to mind, and then how they're related to you and why you chose them. And so I grab a pen, I grab paper, and then I say, who do you know that would benefit solely from Shakeology and the discount? And then I shut up and I wait, and they always give me names, always. So they'll sit there for a minute, and I'll send you a recording of a call, but they'll say, well, my mom, it usually is always starts there, like their mom, their dad, their sister-in-law, their husband, their grandma, their aunt, and they'll, so I'll write their name down, their relationship, why they said that. And then I'll say, okay, just keep going. And then we'll go back through all these people, but just keep going. And so what I'm trying to do is to get to a list of 10. So she might give me 5 names. That's where I usually get the most. And then I'll say, okay, who do you know that's looking for at-home workout solutions? Oh, this girl I work with, she's another teacher. She's been wanting to work out. She actually saw my posts on Facebook and my stories, and she was actually asking me about it the other day. Okay, great. Who else? Who else? Who else? Like I'll ask that over and over, and they'll always give me more names. So I'll just keep going. And then I will ask them, who do you know that needs to make extra income right now? Who do you know that needs to make extra income? And then I'll say, who do you want on your team? Like, you're going to go build this business, and I'll insert their goals. You're going to go build this business that you want to build you're going to be earning $500 a week. You're going to be saving up to take your kids to Disney World. Well, do you know what that looks like? You're going to be on Zoom calls. You're going to be going to Summit. You're going to be working out. You're going to be vacationing. You're going to be doing different things and building your business. Who are the people you want in your hotel room? Who are the people you want to be on the Zoom calls with? Who do you want to do this business with? They always give you names. And so I won't stop asking questions until I get to 10. And so then what I'm able to do is show them, okay, here's your launch right here. And I'll pull it out and I'll show them, looking literally for all these calls. I did a one-on-one call with almost every single person in the diamond group right now. So I'm literally cross-eyed from all of them, but I'll turn it around and I'll show them. I'll say, okay, here's your launch right here. So how many of these people are local to you? You see what I'm doing, right? And they'll go, almost everybody except maybe this person, and this person. And so then you set up the launch. And so for me, the easiest thing for me to do, if they're local to me, well, then of course, then for me to go there, and I'll say that, I'll say, if we were to host an event where you could put the samples out and they could sample and taste and try the products to launch your business, and I'll come help you do that. Can you invite these people into your kitchen? Will you? Right? And like, if someone's gonna like do this or not, right? So your second option would be to do it virtually if they're not in the same area as you. That would be another way to do it. Okay. But the bottom line, it's not necessarily the event, right? Because I mean, I've done many events. What the bottom line is that I'm there. I'm there to share my story, to cast the vision and to present and close. And it's also more than one dimensional. A business opportunity is great, and I used those as well, but the business opportunity is one dimensional. So it's like you're showing them what we have to offer and we're inviting them to get started. Well, we know it takes 4 to 7 exposures, right? At a party, at a live party, they're going to get all 7 exposures right there at that one party, because they're tasting and trying all the products. They're hearing your story, their testimonial, maybe other testimonials there. They're going to hear about the business. They're going to hear about Shakeology. I mean, it's just like, so they're going to see before and after photos. They're going to see the workouts playing on the laptop. That's why in person, the closing ratio is really high. Virtually, you're not able to sample all those products, but you're able to sample more than you would on a business webinar. So it's somewhere in the middle. I can't tell you that the closing ratio is the same because we've only done a few. My closing ratio for live parties is really high. Like, every party I've ever done always gets them to Success Club and Emerald every single time. But I'm telling you why, because they're excited to actually invite to it because they know that I'm going to do the work. They're not doing something hard. And they actually do want to invite them to taste and try those products because it just makes sense, versus trying to talk about it virtually. It's one dimensional. Again, like, what hooks people a lot of times on Shakeology is the taste.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's multiple things. right? But I think that if you can nail the system down of how to help those new people launch and launch with them. Another thing that was interesting in the with Sarah is she books multiple launch events with them because she's like, one of them's going to bust. People are going to cancel. So she's like, I always book 2 or 3 and we book them right away. And that way, if people call or cancel, they can literally say, well, I have another one on this day. And they move them. So it's the event to event to event, like we talked about. But again, it's like sometimes it's just making one change that makes all the results. Because how many times would an event been successful if there was just more people there? Like that was really the only thing, right? If you don't even have 10 there, it's going to be hard to get those sales. So, that's personally what I think is leading and educating everybody with Shakeology. We're brainstorming on a lot. We just redid the trifold brochure because it was so old and outdated. And we've really empowered and trained this whole group how to talk to people in person, how to hand out samples, how to like network. Like what Lisa and I did. We just networked, whether it was online or offline, and that it's okay to talk about all the products, not just a boot camp or a challenge group, right? Like that's one event, one way.
Okay.
The
No,
other
I think this is great.
good.
Yeah.
The other thing with the challenge group too is you have to remember is like that's asking a lot of people to do when they sign up as a partner.
Yeah.
And I think that hurts us. Not everybody
Well, and
wants
you're
to do that.
scared. Yeah. Well, and like one thing I've noticed, and I can definitely see where the parties would help, where like they're signing up because they're super excited about their results. And then I'm like, okay, so you're going to make a list of 50 people and you're going to start inviting. And they're like, oh my gosh, that is really scary. And so I definitely do think that I've dropped the ball in doing it with them instead of drop the ball in like making them do it instead of going, okay, we're going to do it together.
Right.
And then they get scared and they stop before they even start.
Right. Right.
Okay.
And it's a skill set, like, and you're going to have to do it a couple of times, just like anything else, to be like, okay, I shouldn't have done that. I need to do this next time. Like evaluate every single situation. But Allison is my achiever. She will hit Success Club till the sun comes down. She's actually putting some training systems together for the whole team because we're like yin and yang. But Allison, I love her to death, but she just wants to be in control of her activity. But that's only going to get you so far in this business, unless you just want to work a million hours forever. And that's not why we're doing network marketing, is it? So I'm really proud of her because it's not easy for her and she's an emerald. So she's more of that introvert. She'd rather send 100 messages a day than to actually get on a Zoom or anything and share her story. But she does amazing at it. But I needed to tell her that. We need to tell people that. And I'm telling you that you can do that. And so she's done a couple parties now with her people where she just comes on and she shares her story and then she does the close for like an in-person party, for example. So, and these are people that have been with her for a while. They're not brand new, so they know how to like do the things. But my point is her coming in and just sharing her story and then presenting the options to sign up and get started that day at the end is very powerful, because that's what you're there to do. Those are the two parts they can't do. They don't have your story to leverage. They might have 7 days on Shakeology, and that's all they need because they have your story. And then they don't have the confidence to close and offer those options to sign up. So that's ultimately what we're there for them to lean on and do. And what we're finding is they're all signing people up that have been in their networks for all this time, and they never really shared the products with them. They might have invited them to a challenge group, but these people never got started and they never bought anything. And now they're all buying Shakeology. Some of them are buying the total solution pack, but they're buying it for the product. They're not buying it because of the group. And there's nothing wrong with one way or the other way, but I've personally always felt like our products are so awesome. Why are we selling a group when we need to sell the product? Because people really need to understand. That's why I feel like her people, Lisa Peterson's people, were canceling on Shakeology, is because we're selling these bundles. There's too much in the bundle to truly understand the value of what you're getting, you know?
Yeah.
So now Allison's signing people up for her people. And that is, and Lisa's phenomenal at this, but it's like Craig instilled that in us from the very beginning. You don't get recognized for it. No one's ever going to go, Jacqueline, great job for building an emerald this week. You know, they might congratulate you when you jump a star, but they don't understand that actually jumping that star took a ton of work before to do all of those calls, events, to help those people sponsor, build belief, you know, to get to that point. And, you know, Allison's was looking at it like, you know, I don't want to say a waste of time, but we look at like, okay, I have, you know, so much time to work my business. I can send this many invitations out. I can yada, yada, yada. Why am I going to take an hour out of my day or whatever to go do this party for 2 people to sign up? Because it's your job. Because it's your real job. Your real job is to help people get results. And I'm not talking about customers. I'm actually talking about your partners. You want to help them get results. So whatever their goals are that they tell you they want to make $500 a week and how it's positively going to impact their family's life. Okay, let's reverse engineer that. Let's create that plan. Here's how we launch. This is where you're going to get your first customers and your first partners. And I'm going to help you do it. And then you just keep going and helping. It's hard to find the people that really want to build. So like you were saying, you had someone that reached out to you. That's exactly how this business works. It's timing for people. So the minute that they seen something or whatever the case may be, and they decide they want to do it, you better be ready. Right? Like that's what I was talking about. When Gabby was ready, like I lit that fire, but then I was almost like, oh crap. I haven't worked with someone to go diamond in half a minute. Am I even mentally ready to do this with her? Well, my ass better get ready because she's ready. And I got to run at her pace now. Sometimes you're trying to get people to run at your pace, but sometimes it's the other way.
Right. Yeah. No, I think this is great. I really appreciate it.
I hope I just didn't blab your ear off.
No, I literally have a page and a half of notes. And I set up calls next week for like a handful of girls. And so that really kind of helps me know what to do with them.
Yeah.
So I feel more prepared.
So that's what I would do is the first thing I would do is go through your team and identify who you want to work with to go where. If you want to help someone go emerald, or if they're already emerald and you're working with them to go diamond, you can identify those people as people you want to work with. That's half of it. The other half of it is, do they want to do it themselves? So I can look at my downline and be like, this person, like Jill's really close to diamond, right? But that could have went another way. She could have been like, no, I'm too busy. I don't really care, whatever. Like it could have went the other way. And then if it did, well, there's nothing I could really do, right? Reach out to her again in the future. So one of the things that I would do all the time is reach out to people in my team and text them something simple like, hey, how are you? Just wanted to check in with you. I'm going to be working with some partners this month to advance their business to the first level in Beachbody, and I wanted to come to you first. Is that something that you would be interested in having a discussion about? Something really simple like that, especially if they've been in for a while and you're kind of don't know where they stand. That's kind of I would do that to people underneath my people. When I'm helping someone go diamond, I got to help build emeralds. So I would go through their team and I would message them and I would say, hey, this is Kristina Sullins. I'm actually so-and-so's upline. I'm working with her to build her business right now. I wouldn't say to diamond, but I would just say, we're working together right now to build her business. And we're looking for one or two people on her team that also want to build their business to the first rank. You're the first person I'm coming to. If you're interested, text me back. And so I put it in their hands and they would text me back. And then I would get on a strategy call with them. I would send them my link and I would say, can you fill this out and book a call and let's chat? And almost 9 times out of 10, and you're constantly positioning yourself with your team, right? So a lot of times they were like, oh my gosh, thank you for thinking of me. Yeah, I'm interested. I don't know quite what to do, but I'm interested. And then I would get on a call and do exactly what we're talking about. I would pull out their goals, their social styles, so know how to motivate them. We would build a list, and then we would find a way to help them launch that list, even if they weren't brand new, because even if they've been in it for a year and they're just sitting there, it's because they don't know what to do or they're overwhelmed and they get paralyzed. And so I'm always working with at least 2 to 3 people one-to-one, always to build. My goal every month, was like, okay, hit Success Club, whatever one, 5 or 10 or more, and then sign up 2 partners. And it might be higher, but like those were my minimums. And then I was mentoring 2 to 3 people. So I was either working with brand new people to help them go emerald, or I was helping emeralds to go diamond, and working with people maybe about 30 days at a time, just kind of depending on them. And then just consistently shifting. Not everybody made it through, right? Like they stopped doing the things and then you find more people. You'll never run out of people to work with if you're doing what I'm explaining, because I'm working with people that are several levels deep, because that's going to not only help that person, my person, go diamond, but who knows if that person actually wants to build a 6-figure business. Then you're going to still help that person because they're going to build massive volume on your leg.
Okay.
So I'll send you my Acuity link so you can see all the questions. So I have like 4 different types of calls. And then that's really helpful because before you get on the call with them, their goals, their struggles, kind of where you need to go with what to run that call. And then I will not get off of a call if I don't have their list.
Okay.
That's my goal, like in my own head. So every getting started right call or a strategy call, I want to build a list of 10 with them, and I do it with them on the call. If you tell people to make a list at the end of this call, they don't do it. So you have
Right.
to get really creative and good at making it look like it's so easy. Let's do it now. It'll take 2 seconds. Who do you know? And you do it. And now you have a follow-up system. Now you can
Okay.
be like, okay, let's book the date, the party date. And now you know that not only 80% of these people they can invite, and then they can bring friends, but now you know when you do the event what these people actually would probably be interested in. She's bringing her sister who needs to lose 20 pounds for her wedding in September, and she's a potential person that could host a bridal boot camp. She's bringing her best friend who she wants on her team. It's different. Otherwise, you're in a group of strangers. Now it's like these people before you've even met them, and you can talk their language.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. What questions do you have?
I have none. I I feel a whole lot better. I know on things that I need to work on. So I don't have any questions.
Good. Okay. So
Yeah.
why don't you take a look at your downline and send me
Yeah.
back a list of where you're going to start with. And then I agree the next step would be to get yourself back to that 2-star bonus. So what is your plan of action for that? And then and then at the end of the day, like really what's going to make that income grow, like a lot of what we just talked about, is the little steps to get people to see all those wins, doing all those little steps. That's why it takes a year to build the business. Doing all those little steps, if you did them all and you got all these people to Emerald and they're hitting Success Club and did it, your income can still be the same, and we have to know this is a long game. And so for you to double your income right now, right, you need someone on your left leg and someone on your right leg who want what you've already achieved. They want to earn $500 or more a week. And you're working with them right now to aggressively achieve that. When people
Yeah.
are they're happy being diamond, they're going to fall to emerald. The people that stay diamond are the ones that actually want to be 2-star or they want to be 5-star. So if you don't have those hungry people on your legs that are going to build volume, then you need to start manifesting that to bring those people on your team, and they earn a priority spot for you to get on a call with them every week for 20 minutes, and you strategize and help them build their list and create events and help them get to where they need to go. That's what's going to bring the business back to where you need that volume to bump up.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. We're in this together.
Thanks for letting me listen.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you guys.
All right. Keep me posted.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye,
Talk soon.
Lisa.
Okay.
Bye.